Welcome everyone, friends and furs of all species. I'm Dayzee Hyena, and we're back with another episode of Danganronpa Trigger. Fuck! Okay. Goodbye Despair. There you go. Danganronpa Goodbye Despair. Not Trigger Happy Habits Dayzee. Dumbass Dayzee. Okay, anyway. We had the murders. We investigated. I feel... right now, my top suspect is Soda, because he's been very evasive this whole time, and he would know how to work the camera. Now, I feel conflicted, because I don't think it is him, but that's the closest I am to, you know, fingering, giggity, someone for this. And, yeah, hold on. I'll turn that fan on, because it gets hot. But, I feel like I'm missing one big clue, and as soon as I get that clue, I'm gonna be like, I'm a dumbass, how did I not see that? But, we'll see. Let's get this poppin'. Still looks better than Matt Rushmore. Everyone who heard the announcement had gathered in front of Monokuma Rock. And soon enough, little bitch bear bastard. Is everybody here? Do you guys want to go to the class trial? Hey jerk, hold it right there. What? Don't you get in my way, you little dumb sister who's short a few brain cells. My brain works just fine. Monokuma, what did you do with Nekomaru? Oh, I totally forgot about that dude. Yo, that's fucked up. But yeah, I totally forgot about him. Arse, so you've come to avenge him. Avenge? That sounds like he died. Sounds like you say. Oops. Aw, so is he really dead? Anyway, since Nekomaru is unfortunately unavailable today, let's just say he's absent. Now then, I gotta go first. Hold on, I won't let you escape. Hey, did you hear what he said? Huh? Don't worry about it. There's no way Nekomaru is dead. He's just trying to piss us off. Of course he's not there. There's no way. Not in a million years.
Well...
more importantly, it's best if we worry about ourselves for now. If something happens here, every one of us except Nekomaru will die.
Why are you so excited about that?
How about
Who knows? Maybe I'm just looking forward to seeing a poetic justice prevail. What are you saying, fiend? You'll find out soon enough.
This... we are how far... like, a minute or so in, or like 3 minutes in, or whatever, I don't give a shit. He's already pissing me off. See? Then let's go. Alright, we're gonna hurry and get this over with. Yeah, you're right. Alright, let's do this. Nom 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 nom. Most intense tonguing we've ever had. We stepped onto the escalator and ascended towards the gaping maw. I'm such a furry, I can't listen, I can't hear the word maw without, like, that shit. Ah. We're getting bored, y'all. That's when I suddenly noticed it. I noticed that our lined up silhouettes kept getting smaller and smaller. But I can't turn back now. If I turn back, I won't be able to press forward. And when everyone was inside Monokuma Rock, the elevator began its descent as usual. Damn, there is so few of us in here. but nobody said a word. As we stood there trying to figure out what to say to each other, the elevator descended deeper and deeper. And when it descended as far as it could go, it finally stopped. The elevator doors slowly opened, almost tantalizingly so. Light poured through from the other side, eroding boundaries of the darkness. And I walked into that place. What does it look like? Oh, no! It looks like a whole ass dungeon. Okay. My, it feels pretty toothless with all these empty seats. 2 people got killed at the same time, and Nekomaru's not here either. Is Nekomaru really not participating? If he's alive, you shouldn't fight him. If he can't make it, he can't make it.
No.
Why bother? What? Now then, let's begin. It's the beginning of the long-awaited class trial! Please enjoy to your heart's content! And so the curtain to the 3rd class trial was about to open. That still messes with me. Ibuki Miyota, the ultimate musician. She was really loud, but she was the mood maker of our group. Hold on. Oh, that's why I couldn't breathe. My tongue was blocking my airway. Okay. When I was with her, all of my pain and suffering seemed to melt away. Hiyoko Saionji, the ultimate traditional dancer. The exact opposite. Just from looking at her adorable face, you never know how actually selfish and foul-mouthed. Yep. But she was trying to change herself, and she was desperately trying to come to terms with Mahiru's death. The person who killed those 2 is among us. I definitely can't believe it. But whether I believe it or not is irrelevant. Unless I figure out the truth, I won't be able to escape from this hell. That's why I must find out no matter the cost. For our sake. For a friend's sake. For Ibuki and Hiyoko's sake. I mean Ibuki, but Hiyoko... And so the curtain to our 3rd class trial was about to open. This life-threatening trial, billowed with hope and despair, has begun. Yup. Trial.
Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial. During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it. If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island. Oh well, who cares about this boring explanation? Let's get on with it already!
Fair enough.
I don't mind starting the trial, but I don't really have a grasp of how the case played out. You know, because I was asleep the whole time.
Uh-huh. I hate that face of yours. I hate your face.
Even if you do grasp it, you're just gonna confuse the heck out of us, aren't you?
But Nagito's not alone. I don't really get it either.
You're fine. Your head's empty anyway.
Ain't that the pot calling the kettle black?
Empty head? Huh. What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with... I'm so sick and tired of these people all the time.
Listen up. The emptier your head, the more dreams you can stuff inside it, you know?
I guess you're right. I'll drop it.
Anyway, we shouldn't proceed with the trial if those 2 can't participate in the arguments. Since he's the first witness, why don't we ask Hajime to explain the incident and the sequence of events?
Then, Let's start with when we split into the hospital team and motel team because of the despair disease. The hospital team consisted of Nagito, Ibuki, and Akane, who were infected, and Mikan, Fuyuhiko, and me.
The other 5 in the motel team were myself, Gundam, Kazuichi, Chiaki, and Hyoko.
Spending the night at the hospital was prohibited, so Hajime and I had to sleep at our cottages.
I woke up at my cottage on the day the incident happened. Mikan came by to wake me up
And
told me
smothered
Nagito
us
had
with
recovered
titties.
from the symptoms. We immediately headed over to the hospital, and after we confirmed his recovery, I made Mikan rest in the on-call room, since she hadn't slept all night, while I waited in the hospital lobby. And then, I saw the incoming signal light on the surveillance camera blinking before our scheduled time. When I pressed the button to turn on the monitor, what appeared on screen was a video of someone wearing a hospital gown and a hemp bag on their head, climbing a stepladder.
Amazing! That's such a heart-pounding story. And then what did you do, Hajime?
It's not what he says. It's how he says it. That was the biggest... Oh, whew, I would have slapped him in front of everybody.
I tried to stop them, of course. I rushed out of the hospital and ran to where the video was being recorded, the music venue. But it was too late.
Yep.
By the time I arrived, the person wearing the hemp bag on their head was already hanging from the
You
ceiling.
don't even know. See, this is the part that pisses me off. He did not know for sure whether or not she was dead. She could have, because Mikan said her throat was, her neck wasn't broken. She was strangled. So, she could have been alive, still, like barely holding on by the time he got there. If he could have cut her down and got ha 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 with on her like chest CPR and shit, staying alive, she could have made it. But you'll never know if that's possible. Now, will ya, Hajime?
I thought I should tell the others right away, so I headed to the motel.
Why the motel?
Because it was close to the music venue, and unlike the hospital, there were more able-bodied people there. At least, that's what I thought. But the only person who came with me was Chiaki.
But I remember feeling a little relieved because not long after, we met up with Mikan and Fuyuhiko.
We were also looking for Ibuki since she disappeared from our sight.
After I rested for a bit, I started counting everyone at the hospital. And then I noticed Ibuki was gone. So I sprinted out of the hospital. Coincidentally, I ran into Fuyuhiko. So I fled with him in various ways to see if he could help me out.
My. That sounds oddly suggestive.
Various ways?
Okay, y'all got me, game. Y'all got me. Y'all right.
Don't say it like that in
After I heard from those two that Ibuki disappeared, I had a feeling she was the person wearing the hemp bag. So I immediately led them to the music venue.
But the door wouldn't open. Since we had no other option, the 4 of us broke down the door. And when that happened, we didn't just find Ibuki's body. We also found Hiyoko's. And not just that. Her body was taped to a pillar.
That's when we heard the body discovery announcement. Not once, but twice in a row.
And so we decided to lower the hanged body, didn't we?
Yes.
When we removed the hemp bag, just as we feared, it was Ibuki.
Why does he look like he's taking the world's most painful shit?
So that's how the case played out. Thank you. I understood it very easily.
See, it's the way he says it. It pisses me off.
Well, it's clear what the problem with this case is. When Hajime left the music venue, who...
Wait, how do I know anything Hajime just said is true?
Because unlike you, I'm not a dick. I am an idiot. I'm not a dick. And that's the difference between us.
Sorry, I'm only being impartial right now. The story I just heard is clearly suspicious.
You ain't never been shit!
Hajime, if you're the only one who saw the hanging video, and the first one to discover Ibuki's body, then you could be lying as much as you want right now, right?
Suck my dick, Nagito. Suck it! Suck it!
Lie? Why would I lie? Obviously, so you could make us ignore what might be an inconvenient truth for you.
Do you doubt me?
If you're not lying, I would like you to prove it.
Okay.
Come on, try to prove it to me. Prove you're not the killer.
I hate you. Just as Kazuichi said, Nagito's the kind of guy who will just confuse us and make matters worse. Damn it, I shouldn't have explained it to Nagito. I'm in trouble now thanks to that.
Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie, then the fact that Ibuki hung herself...
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime is the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously, because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie means it probably is Hajime's
Ha!
fault.
Ha! You know, I'm kind of mad. Because the reason he said that... Because I know 100% the reason he said the movie shit. Because as soon as I saw that, I was like, that's what we gotta pick. Because we didn't see the movie until after. I know he specifically said that. So he could clear us. And for some reason, some ungodly reason, that pisses me off even more.
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie.
Brilliant!
No, that's wrong!
I'm not the killer. I mean, there's no way I'd be able to imitate that movie.
Of course you're not. I already knew that.
Episode over. I'm so tired. I mean, honest to God, hold on. It's 3:18 a.m. Thursday. Because I forgot to do this last Thursday. So I'm going to be recording this now, editing this later in the morning, posting it within the time, hopefully. Maybe it might be Friday. With no sleep. Because I want to give you content.
Huh?
Before the incident, Hajime had never watched that movie. His invitation ticket is proof of that. Each person only received one ticket, and they're marked with a stamp that shows the date and time. Isn't that right, Monokuma?
Yes, no mistakes there.
Which means there's no way Hajime, who never saw the movie, could commit murders that imitated it. Or did anyone tell him what happens in the movie? Of course no one did, right?
Hold on a sec. You're the one who brought this up in the first
Shut up,
place.
Soda.
Nagito, what are you doing?
Well, since we're opening with your witness testimony, I thought we should solidify the foundation.
Fuck you.
And also provides a good warm-up.
What warm-up? This isn't a game, you know.
I hate him.
Don't get mad. I just think warming up is really important. Especially since this isn't a game.
What a waste of time. Well, I knew it would turn out like this
Ah!
anyway.
Now then, since we know Hajime's testimony is reliable, let us move on to the arguments.
So this means Ibuki definitely climbed the stepladder all by herself, right?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm positive.
Then that seals it. Ibuki committed suicide.
If Ibuki committed suicide, then who killed Hiyoko?
A murder coincidentally occurring in the same place as a suicide. Ain't possible, huh?
Like I said before, it's pretty clear what the problem with this case is. The killer murdered Hiyoko while Hajime was gone. So all we gotta do is establish who could have possibly done
I don't think so. I still think Hiyoko died first.
Then let's ask Hajime. How long would you say you were away from the music venue?
I couldn't have been gone for more than 10 minutes.
So they killed Hiyoko and taped her up within 10 minutes? There's no way that's possible.
That's why the killer stalled for time by making the music venue a closed room.
See, closed room
What do you
murder.
mean a closed
I
room?
called it.
The killer blocked the venue door from the inside to try and keep us from entering right away.
However, that door is the only entrance to the music venue, right? If they blocked the door from the inside, the killer would not have been able to leave either.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Which means, when we broke down the venue door, the killer was still inside.
They were?
If that's the case, the only suspicious people are those who don't have an alibi for that time. And that's you two, Sonia and Kazuichi.
Fair enough.
Me too?
What the hell? Why is it gonna be us?
Because I don't like your face.
The others all have alibis.
And remember that wisecrack you made the other day? I can totally see your broke ass faces. Motherfucker! Revenge is a bitch.
Chiaki, Mikan, Hajime, and I all broke down the venue door together. Gundam met up with Hajime at the motel right before that. And if Akane and Nagito were laid up in the hospital, the only person that leaves is one of you.
There's another person who doesn't have an alibi. You know, Nekomaru.
But he's dead.
Me too.
Oh my god. The way he mimicked him is such a dick move, but I love it.
Hey, why are you talking like, huh? You're kidding, right? You're not up to something weird, are you?
So he's 100% about to do something.
Please stop making bad jokes.
Anyway, if the killer was hiding inside the venue, we should obviously doubt the people who don't have alibis.
What a wicked way of backing us into a wall. Is this his professional skill?
The killer was inside the music venue. Fuyuhiko obviously thinks so, but is that really it?
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
The lock was on the floor in front of the door.
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
You can use that as a bolt to lock the door. By doing that, the killer who was hiding inside waited till we gathered together and suddenly appeared.
So they look like they had just rushed over.
I have seen this in serial crime dramas.
Of course you did. The person's remark contradicts the truth. I should be able to prove that with my evidence.
By locking the door from the inside.
Ha!
No, that's wrong.
Wait a second. There's also a possibility that the door was locked from the outside.
From the outside? How?
There was a semi-transparent glob stuck to the venue door. Maybe that's what they used.
Semi-transparent glob? Like rubber, maybe?
It wasn't rubber at all. Semi-transparent glob was probably...
I see! That semi-transparent glob must have been glue.
glue?
Yeah, I think
You
so
would
too.
know you ate it! You probably ate paste in class.
It had a firm, gel-like chewiness, and I could smell workshop chemicals the moment I put it in my mouth.
This bitch.
Based on all that, I'm certain it was glue.
I didn't know glue
It's
was edible.
not!
I believe it is not something one typically eats.
That glue was only applied to the areas where both doors touched. By pouring it in the gaps of the closed door, they must have sealed the venue door from the outside.
And thanks to that, a glob of glue was left where the door was stuck. Yep, it fits perfectly. But if you just stick them together with glue, you'd be able to break down the door easily.
We really did.
That doesn't really matter. The killer only did that to make us think the door was locked from the inside.
The stick was already broken.
What'd you say?
First of all, didn't that drumstick we found seem really obvious? Almost unnaturally so? It was so obvious that it makes more sense to think the killer placed it as a diversion.
Are you saying the drumstick was a trap the killer set on purpose? Then I totally fell for that fucking trap.
Yes, you did.
Apologize to Miss Sonia and me. However, you're not allowed to slice open your stomach this time.
This bitch.
In a quarrel, both sides are to blame. That's why it's better to just have no sides at all.
Can we hang her?
So, during the 10 minutes Hajime left the venue, the killer murdered Hiyoko and created a closed space.
No, there's no way.
And they also taped her up after killing her,
There's
right?
no way. There's something we are missing.
Even quick work has limits.
Oh, what unimaginable speed for a slowpoke like
Aw, honey girl, you good.
If they couldn't have done it while Hajime was away from the venue, they must have done it earlier than that.
Earlier.
But when Hajime got to the venue, only Ibuki's body was there, right?
And when you went back with everyone else, Hiyoko's body was there too, right? But it's possible that the body was just revealed at that time, when Hiyoko was actually killed earlier.
I knew it!
just revealed?
Of course, the body wasn't revealed on its own. The killer did that too. Here, I have proof.
Oh, that paper, right?
That scrap of paper. Is that what we found in the baton lighting at the music video?
Yeah, one of your devas got it.
That's right, but just what is this scrap anyway?
The scrap that was stuck on the baton lighting in the music venue. Now I should be able to figure out what it is. This says, I hate this. I can't spell for shit. Gonna make me cry. After freaking forever. Bro, that
Scrap. Isn't it part of the wallpaper in the storage room? In the music venue storage room, there should have been black wallpaper that's the same color as that scrap. There was also a tear along the edge of the wallpaper, wasn't there? If so,
You're right. You overlay the scrap that was caught on the lighting, the tear in the wallpaper. See? It fits perfectly.
I see. So the scrap that was caught on the baton lighting was originally part of the wallpaper.
she's saying that her body is hidden by being wrapped in wallpaper. What? What?
And what's wrong with that? Does it have something to do with Hiyoko's body disappearing?
A mere nobody like me
This
isn't
mother-
important enough to answer that. But if you guys were exceptional enough to identify that scrap of paper, you can figure this out easily.
That scrap of paper stuck to the baton lighting was part of that wallpaper I found in the storage room. is it connected to the sudden appearance of Hiyoko's body? If I trace it back from there, the answer should become clear. Alright, let's give this a try. Oh shit. Oh no. Oh crap. Oh god. Oh jeez. Oh no. This is about to go very horribly. Ah! Don't judge me! Oh, judge me too. Don't worry about it, but oh. Shit. Y'all are just loving this, aren't you? Just watching me fail. Ah, oh, how did I keep missing that? Yeah, you sick bastards. What? It's that button! Right? Why is it not? I was pressing the wrong button, which is why I kept dying. Why did Hiyoko's body suddenly appear at the crime scene? It's hidden. Yes! Got it right. Figured. Okay, what did the killer use to hide her body? The wallpaper, right? Which is why we were talking about the wallpaper. Duh. Booyah! I am a bad bitch! If y'all just forget all the beginning, I was failing miserably. Oh my god! Ah, shit! I really should slow down, but I feel like this is more awesome if I just keep going super fast. Okay, they covered the pillar, they formed a wall. How did the killer hide the body? Oh, fuck! They covered the wall. Wait, they covered the pillar. They covered... Did they form a... Oh, shit. Yes, 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 yes! Y'all don't know how many times I fucked up. Okay. Why did it appear? It was hidden. What did the killer use to hide? The wallpaper. How did the killer hide the body? They covered the pillar.
It's all coming together.
I will not tell y'all how many times I fucked that up.
Got it. Hyoko's body was hidden before we found it.
But it would have taken quite a long time to tape up a hidden body.
No, the body was already taped up and the killer hid it, along with the pillar using the wallpaper.
What? They hid the pillar?
Yeah, by wrapping the wallpaper around the pillar, the killer was able to create a slightly larger pillar. So when I first discovered Ibuki's body, Hyoko's body was already there.
Wow, shit.
However, because it was concealed within a slightly larger pillar, I didn't realize that at the time.
Damn.
Well, that's understandable. I mean, it makes sense that you'd notice Ibuki's body right away.
So they used the baton lighting on the ceiling to hang the wallpaper?
Yep.
The baton lighting forms a perfect circle around the pillar. So using it to hang the wallpaper totally fits.
Yep.
Then, the reason the wallpaper was covered in so many stickers was to make it look like that pillar.
Oh, that's why there was less stickers. I'm so stupid. I thought I was being all detective and like getting good at this shit. No, and then they just Danganronpa decides to go, guess what? On your face.
That's how they hid Hyoko's body, and then peeled off the wallpaper as soon as I left the music room.
So they were there. Wait, were they there? Were they waiting, like, waiting for us to see that shit? Or did they just hope we left? And we didn't see them as we left.
But the killer made a mistake. they accidentally ripped off a piece of the wallpaper. And because of that, a scrap was left on the baton lighting.
Killer must have been in a hurry. Their plan took too long. Hajime could have walked in on it.
But going to the trouble of hiding the body and the pillar is very bold and risky.
The crime itself would be much easier to pull off since they don't have much to do while Hajime's gone. They just have to peel off that wallpaper and stash it in the storage room. It's not that big of a deal.
And when was Hiyoko actually killed?
Good point. And on that note, it's about time we shed some light on those imitation murders.
Yep.
You mentioned imitation murder more than once. But
Why are you so stupid, Monomi? I hate you, Monomi. Your stupid face. Why are you so stupid?
Are you kidding me? You haven't seen my masterpiece? The Wizard of Monomi 2.5D?
Hey, don't put my likeness in your movies without my permission.
Oh, he fucked you up in the movie.
You're pretty noisy for someone who eats mothballs.
I didn't read Moss. I read mine. So I thought you said mine balls, and I was like, incorrect English, but what?
I don't eat moss balls. I just enjoy looking
What?
at them. I knew it. There are so many similarities. It must have been intentional.
Ibuki's death by hanging matches the Scarecrow's death from the movie. Not just that, but Hiyoko getting taped up after her death matches the lion's death.
But Hiyoko had her throat cut, and the lion was shot.
It's as if both crimes were replicas of scenes from the movie, although the mutilated Tin Man was omitted.
Thankfully.
But why did the killer go to all this trouble in the first place?
Based on what we know, the reason the killer chose these imitations isn't that difficult to figure out.
The reason the killer imitated the two victims. Oh shit, That's why. I know.
The reason the killer imitated two of the murders from the movie was so he'd mix up the killing order.
Yes! I told y'all, man! Man, I'm good sometimes at this. I knew that the timing of these killings was going to be the key factor.
Then Hiyoko was actually killed before
Yep.
Ibuki?
A valid line of reasoning.
Yeah, it's valid. The condition of Ibuki's body suggests that as well.
What do you mean? If you're going to cry and beg like that, then I guess I'll hear about the condition of Ibuki's body.
I'm not even
I love her so much.
I'll let you sob as much as you want later. Just hurry up and tell me before I change my mind.
What a jerk!
You're a fine one to talk.
Oh, I see. You want me to explain it to you, right? Because you don't understand what I'm saying, right?
Get his ass.
An even bigger jerk? Impossible!
Look, Ibuki died because she hanged herself, right?
Wouldn't it be hung herself? I don't know.
That means when she was still alive, her feet were touching the floor.
What's wrong with that?
But it seems Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was killed. That would mean Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki.
How right. Your words are so light as the sylph's feather.
What the fuck is a sylph?
Your opponent is out of your league. It is too absurd to try to perplex me so inadequately.
Man, he's being annoying again.
So are you.
First and foremost, you claim Ibuki's feet were touching the floor when Hiyoko was killed. How can a low-class creature with no psychic abilities like you know something like that?
because she was doing something that's only possible if her feet were on
Look
the
at her
floor.
cheeks.
It seems you suffer from a pathetic delusion.
He is 100% the pot calling the kettle black. There you go. Anyway, if this continues, we're just gonna talk in circles. I think it's best if we clarify Ibuki's status when Hiyoko was killed.
When Hiyoko died, Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
I am telling you to present your evidence.
Did you see her walking?
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
Were there even any footprints at the crime scene?
Maybe her feet were on the floor. But she was like sitting or
Oh
something.
my lord.
So instead, there'd be a mark on her leg.
Motherfucker, I am so tired of him!
Weak, I say! It doesn't even pierce my heart!
I will shoot you in the heart if I have to get you to shut up.
Was there any sign she stepped on
Damn.
something?
Yes!
I agree with that. Just as Sonia said, Ibuki stepped on something. That something was blood. There were faint blood stains on the soles of her slippers.
That is not Ibuki's blood, right? She suffered no external
Yep.
injuries.
And it's Hiyoko's blood.
Yep.
Hiyoko's only wound was a fatal slice on her neck. And she died almost instantly, right?
If Ibuki stepped on her blood,
It means Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was mortally wounded. Which means Ibuki was still alive at the exact moment Hiyoko was killed.
Don't underestimate the power of the
I hate
evil
him.
eye.
Accept defeat, Dick!
Is that it? A shepherd dressed in his Sunday's finest still reeks of lamb, Hajime Hinata.
Does that mean you have a rebuttal?
Does that mean you have a rebuttal? That's a good line.
Oh my god, yes.
But are you sure you're sure? If I show you how serious I am, this world might be destroyed, you know.
Based on how 2020 is going, go for it, Gundam. Go for it, my man. Destroy the world. That would be an improvement.
You're so frightened you can't even make a sound. It seems you've realized our difference in status.
Mental status.
However, the time for conviction starts now. You better entertain me to the full.
That hamster.
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to Hiyoko? Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor.
Allow me to cut through those words. That's not it. The reason there was no blood on the floor is because the killer wiped it away.
Oh
after.
yeah.
Don't say such foolish things. You don't have proof of that at all.
Yes, I do. If you look closer, there's a streak on the floor where blood was wiped away.
when the killer tried to hide Hyoko's body, they probably cleaned the blood at the same time, but Ibuki must have already stepped in it, and the killer probably didn't even realize it.
The reason they wiped off the blood on the floor was so we'd mix up the order of the murders,
Gold
right?
star for you, Hiko.
Even if they're able to hide Hyoko's body, it'd be bad if her blood was left out in
Because
the
then I
open.
would look at the pillar.
Plus, Ibuki's body was left out in the open, and it wasn't bleeding from any open wounds at all.
Hyoko's body was probably wrapped in duct tape to stop her
Yep.
bleeding.
Actually, the bleeding will stop once the heart stops beating. So I don't think they had to go that far.
Aside from Mikon, none of us were aware of that fact. So the killer probably did not know it either.
Yeah. I mean, I kinda knew that, but not because I'm a nurse. But that's a story time for a different time. Very dark.
Maybe the theater was running inside the music venue so it would screw with Nikon's autopsy?
It did.
That's right! I didn't know the time of death because of the heater!
If the time of death wasn't mentioned in the Monokuma file just to keep concrete evidence from us.
Yep. Since we have all this evidence, there's no one else who wants to object, right? Then it's decided. Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki.
It appears that it is wiser to retreat for
Booyah! Stay away from my girl.
Fine then. But regardless of good or evil, there's no deceit in upholding one's convictions.
Can't you just shut up and back
Huh?
off?
Yep. I bet that Soda has heard that sentence from quite a few women in his time.
Now then, let us resume our debate.
Wait a sec. There's something I want to run by Monokuma first.
Huh? Again? Didn't something like this happen last time too?
Yup.
Hey, if the victim actually committed suicide, what are we supposed to do?
Huh? Suicide.
The same as always. You have to vote for who the killer
Oh,
is.
so you just vote for who killed.
Think about it. A suicide means you killed the most important existence of all, yourself. Unfortunately, that means there's no Blacken to punish, but I guess in a pinch, I can always punish
I
my
guess.
Why me?
Because your face.
Nagito? What do you mean? If the victim actually committed suicide?
Well, I mean, I understand Hiyoko's dead. But I'm wondering if Ibuki was really murdered.
Huh?
For example, it's possible Ibuki killed Hiyoko and then committed suicide due to a guilty conscience, right?
But if she killed her, then nobody would have been there to remove the paper. Unless she had told someone beforehand, but even if she told someone beforehand, they wouldn't benefit at all from the murder because they didn't kill her.
That's totally impossible! Then she never would have killed her to begin with!
She was afflicted by the despair disease, remember? That means anything can happen.
But if Ibuki's the killer, she wouldn't have been able to falsify the sequence of the murders, right? After Hajime saw the hanged body, the sudden appearance of Hiyoko's body soon after means the
Yep.
killer had to be alive at that time.
Then she was
Motherfucker.
alive. When Hajime first discovered Ibuki, she was just pretending to be dead.
Motherfucker.
If she waited until Hajime left, that's when she could have made her move and mess with the crime scene.
She hanged herself. Remember? There's no fucking way she could have faked that.
And if she was going to fake her death, I think she wouldn't have chosen hanging. Her body would have been defenseless in that state. If anyone touched her, that alone would have ruined her
Yep.
plan.
I see. So that means there's no doubt that someone killed those two. I'm glad. Now I'm free to search
This
for the
bitch.
killer.
Yep.
There's still one more issue on my mind. If Ibuki didn't commit suicide, then just what was that video Hajime saw?
Oh, yeah. Huh?
According to that video you saw, Ibuki was by herself when she climbed the stepladder, right? Then does that mean someone forced her to do it?
The despair disease, she wanted to do anything. If somebody went, hey, kill yourself, she would have done it. So she really should have stayed off the internet because they would have told her.
Forced? Perhaps they used hypnotism or something?
I don't know anything about that.
Don't say it all proud.
Putting that aside, it seems obvious that the killer did something.
to destroy the weakest alibi.
Fair enough.
Since Hajime has seen the video, it is clear what time the crime took place.
But just to be sure, that surveillance camera doesn't have a record function, right?
It's a cheap-ass surveillance camera, you know? There's no way it'd have some kind of sweet recording.
Like,
feature.
we would know that.
Then the video Hajime saw was actually blood?
What time did Hajime see
Before
that
the
video?
morning announcement.
I saw it at the hospital, right before Monokuma's morning announcement. And I saw the body at the music venue a little after Monokuma's announcement.
So Ibuki hanged herself right before Monokuma's announcement. And since we established that Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki,
Sometime during the night.
that means the time that the murders occurred was before and during the announcement.
Then we just have to find the person who doesn't have an alibi during that time?
Now then, I shall issue my decree. Let Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi
I love
commence.
her, but also, what?
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
Neither
What
do
about you
we.
guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed.
It's okay, girl. We'll get him next time. Person who doesn't have an alibi for that time.
Disease. If nobody has an alibi,
Oh yeah.
No, that's wrong! Hold on. Not all of us are missing an alibi. In fact, Mikan and I both have
Because she
alibis.
was smothering me in titties. I knew they would come in handy.
you two have alibis?
Oops, oops, oops.
Up until I saw that hanging video, Mikan and I were actually together
We
for
were
a
sleeping
while.
together. If I had eyebrows, I'd be going up and down.
We even woke up together that morning.
Oh my god, I tried not to. I would have screamed if I tried to laugh.
Hey, what kind of situation is that?
I accidentally fell asleep on top of Hajime.
Oh my god, don't tell people. See, she's jealous. Our girl is jealous. I'm sorry, Chiyaki. We would love to be smothered by your titties too.
Too much info.
And yeah, it's not like that. She just came to tell me Nagito's condition had improved.
And we went to the hospital together afterward. So we were together until right before the announcement.
I get it. You guys have alibis.
If that's the case, the killer must be someone else.
It's better if we think about it
Yep.
like that. The killer decided to falsify the murder sequence to hide the actual time of the crime anyway.
So it's inevitable that an alibi for both before and during the morning announcement would be very important.
It feels like Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has backed us into a corner instead.
But committing an imitation murder, is that really all it was?
What smart ass shit you gotta say this time?
Faking the time the crime occurred by falsifying the murder sequence, hiding their alibi in the process? Was that the only reason the killer made both bodies imitate the movie?
Are you saying there was another reason?
I feel really bad for confusing you guys so much. But that's how I feel.
You're so full of shit.
I think the killer had a completely different reason for falsifying the murder sequence.
The killer had a different reason. If that's the case, we're still in the killer's trap. inside a trap set by one of us? If so, then whose and what kind of trap is it? Don't tell me. Don't. I'm mad.
Why, hello there, mon ami. The mothballs sure look tasty today. Stop it! Don't characterize me as someone who lives off mothballs. And here's some chance time. What? What's that? Nothing. Mon ami's appeal time starts now. Huh? Appeal time? Your kind-hearted big brother is gonna give you a chance to reclaim your honor. Good luck! Show those jerks who treat you like a red-headed stepchild who's boss. That's 99% your fault. While you were whining, your time is already running out, so please make your appeal simple. About 30,000 words or so. That's too long. It'll be a boring appeal. Come on! If your appeal is successful, there might be merchandise opportunities heading your way. Then I'm Usami, magical miracle girl Usami. I'm an itty bitty girl who's sweet like milk. Milk ain't sweet. The only kind of sweet milk there is ice cream, and that's it. Jeez, and I thought a certain robot's little sister was supposed to be the best.
What a disappointment!
Who are you talking about? I have no clue whatsoever.
I'm Monami. Once again, I've been put in such an unreasonable situation. Seriously, he's like the king of unreasonableness. Why did it turn out like this? We were supposed to have a fun, friendly school trip, but it turned out all bloody instead. No, this definitely cannot be allowed. That's why I want you to remember this. Everyone, do your very best. Don't lose to yourself. And don't forget to save frequently.
The reason the killer did an imitation murder is a reason other than falsifying the murder sequence. Does something like that even exist?
Huh. It suddenly got quiet in here. Did I confuse you? If so, I wish I could die from self-loathing.
I wish you could die from a lot of things.
Man, this again.
If that's the case, it would have been just dandy if they had gone ahead and killed me too.
If they would have dismembered you, I would have felt nothing.
If that happened, the invitation would have been perfect. So why didn't they do that?
Because Monokuma's two-body rule.
Well, it's against the rules to kill 3 people in the first place.
That rule is too harsh. I couldn't get killed.
Motherfuck, I am so sick and tired of him.
Seriously, just shut up already! Shut up forever!
But I'm thinking about it again, and he's totally right. It feels
Do not encourage him, my girl.
Because they didn't kill 3 people like the movie did? That's only because of Monokuma's rule.
It's not just that. Come on, try to remember the content of the movie. About the lion that got killed second.
That's the one Hiyoko's body was imitating, right?
Even though we're calling it an imitation, the lion was actually pinned by arrows, right?
Yeah.
But Hiyoko's body was suspended by common household duct tape.
Yeah, they could have come up behind her and just like jammed some in, like not hold her up with it, but at least jam some arrows in.
Maybe they just used a common substitute because it was too difficult to imitate the arrows.
Well, that's probably it, but that attitude is what makes this feel incomplete. If falsifying the murder sequence was the killer's plan from the very beginning, they should have taken steps to properly imitate it.
But if we never realized it was a half-assed imitation, their entire plan would have been completely useless.
What are you trying to say? Are you saying the imitation wasn't planned?
I'm saying Hiyoko's murder wasn't.
What?
Hyoko's murder wasn't planned?
I understand that imitation wasn't enough, but aren't you making a bunch of assumptions?
I said something about this. It felt... I think I said something. Did I say something? I probably didn't because I'm stupid. But... Hiyoko... And in the mirror! She went to the music hall to look in the mirror, and that's where she surprised the killer. And it was a surprise, yeah! And then they did that.
It's not just the poor imitation. There are also other strange details.
Strange details? Like what?
Like, for example, why did Hiyoko go to the music venue?
Why did Hiyoko go to the music venue?
So, you're saying the truth behind Hiyoko's murder is hidden?
I have no freaking clue what you're trying to say.
Shut up.
However, this is getting quite interesting. My four dark devas of destruction are getting riled up.
Why Hiyoko went to the music venue. If that's the key to all this, I need to find that out no matter what the cost.
Why did Hiyoko go to the music venue? There's no way you'd know that!
Maybe the killer summoned her.
If that's not it, maybe she got abducted by the killer.
No, maybe. She went of her own free will.
She was guided by the will of causality.
Motherfucker. But yeah, she went by herself because of Sonya.
She went of her own free will.
Oh yeah. Consent is sexy.
It's just as Sonya said. She went to the music venue of her own free will.
So, exactly as I assumed.
I'm sorry, Sonya.
If no one called for her, then why did she go?
Hiyoko locked herself in her room because she was being overly cautious of the despair disease, you know? I don't think a person like that would leave their room just because someone called for them.
There's no way she got abducted?
No.
Hiyoko locked the room she was staying in before she went out.
If she was forcibly taken from her room, there's no way she would have had time to lock it.
The killer could have locked her door, right? Just to hide the fact Hiyoko
Nah, she was
got
hiding that key.
Then they couldn't have hidden her room key that deep in her kimono. They would have put it somewhere more obvious. Otherwise, there's no point in messing with the crime scene if nobody finds the key. At the time, you were the one who actually took out the key, right? Then something like that.
I won't.
Whoa. You're the one who reached in there.
Are you saying my gut
Yes.
was wrong? This will be my first and last highlight of the day. Why won't you just let me shine already?
Because you're an idiot. I say that out of love.
That's not the issue.
Shut up! Enough with your fancy talk. I'll shut you up right now. Hiyoko was locked inside her room, right? She definitely got abducted or something. The killer forced their way into Hiyoko's room. Forcibly abducted her. The girl is so small and weak looking. And that's why the killer targeted her.
I can't back down.
I was pressing A, right?
Hiyoko was locked inside her room, right? She definitely got abducted or something. The killer forced their way into Hiyoko's room. Forcibly abducted her. The girl is so small and weak looking. And that's why the killer targeted her.
What kind of saying is unreasonable, but okay.
Hiyoko was locked inside her room, right? She definitely got abducted or something. The killer forced their way into Hiyoko's room. Forcibly abducted her. The girl is so small and weak looking. And that's why the killer targeted her.
But Hiyoko's room was locked. The key was deep inside her kimono, remember? It's more likely that Hiyoko locked the door herself.
The killer was the one who locked the door. So what if the key was in her kimono? Maybe the killer just put it there later.
There's no reason for the killer to put the key in Hiyoko's kimono. The killer probably didn't realize she even had the key.
Hold on! Try remembering Hiyoko. The killer was the one who locked the door. So what if the key was in her kimono? Maybe the killer just put it there later.
There's no reason for the killer to put the key in Hiyoko's kimono. The killer probably didn't realize she even had the key.
Hold on! Try remembering Hiyoko's body. Her kimono was all messed up.
Damn it.
Hold on! Try remembering Hiyoko's body. Her kimono was all... There's only one reason her kimono would be that messed up. She fought the kid. That's the proof she was abducted, right? My gut is totally right after all. Hold on! Try remembering Hiyoko's body. Her kimono was... There's only one reason her kimono would be that messed up. She fought the killer!
Allow me
I
to
messed
cut
that
through
up
those
so
words.
many times.
The reason Hiyoko's kimono was messed up was because she wasn't able to properly wear it.
Wear her kimono?
Yeah, it's also the reason why she decided to go out on her own.
Hiyoko seemed to be really struggling with wearing her kimono. I believe that was one of the reasons she locked herself in her room. That is why I informed her. I told her that there was a full-length mirror at the music venue, and I suggested that she use it.
Then, the reason her kimono was messed up wasn't because she fought the killer.
Yeah, she went to the venue on her own just to fix her messed up kimono.
I get it. I lost. Boil me, burn me, take off my clothes. Do whatever you want to me.
What? This bitch need to stop.
Hajime, now's
No!
your chance. Make her admit defeat. Or better yet, make her do a little something.
This motherfucker, I swear. Sit in the corner and think about what you've done. Hell no.
Then, the killer probably couldn't have assumed that Hiyoko would go to the music venue.
Though that may not apply to Sonia, since she provided Hiyoko with that information.
Fair enough.
Though I knew she would go there, there is no way I could have predicted when she would arrive.
Don't go doubting Miss Sonia, you cretin. I'll put you and your hamsters 6 feet up.
Damn, don't threaten the hamsters.
Kazuichi, it seems you have quite the fashion sense.
Oh shit.
Do you want me to incinerate your clothes? Perhaps I could do that while you're wearing them.
Gundam, please stop! For his sake!
Oh my lord.
Huh? What do you mean, for my sake?
Of course. I've already overlooked no less than 10 opportunities to kill you.
Even if the killer couldn't predict it, why did Hiyoko get killed in the music venue?
Because the killer was probably setting everything up. Hiyoko walked in, saw them, and they knew they had no other option but to kill them immediately. Or they would snitch.
The only thing I can think of is, it was an unfortunate coincidence.
Coincidence?
When she went to the venue by herself, she was probably just unlucky and walked in on the crime scene.
She was killed so there wouldn't be any loose
Yep.
ends?
It probably happened when the killer was preparing to kill Ibuki. The killer most likely had already placed the hemp bag over her head, and without hesitation,
Oh no.
Killed Hiyoko.
Because the killer used that coincidence for their crime, it made this case even trickier.
That's the reason they imitated the movie to falsify the murder sequence.
Which means that low-down scoundrel didn't plan on committing imitation
She wanted it
murders
to make
at
look.
first.
They wanted it to make it look like a suicide. So then we would think, oh, it's suicide. Ibuki's the killer because she killed herself, and then we all go bleh, and then.
Then what was the killer actually planning to do? They've been cunning this far. There's no way they'd kill Ibuki without a plan.
Do you have any ideas?
Damn, we don't know the most important part.
The killer's plan from the beginning, I'm pretty sure we're very, very close.
Hey, Nagito.
Oh
any
god,
ideas?
we asked him.
Hey, how long are you gonna stay
Because you
quiet?
told him to shut up forever.
Oh, am I allowed to
This
speak?
stick!
I'm so happy I'm getting goosebumps. Everyone actually needs help from scum like me.
You are scum, now shut up and tell us.
So what do you think?
I was thinking about it while I had my mouth shut. But now I'm finally able to come to a conclusion. Ibuki definitely didn't commit suicide.
Monokuma, kill him right now, just for shits and giggles. Make an example of him, please. I don't care what example it is. Kill him.
What are you talking about?
I thought there might be a possibility that she faked her death and tampered with the crime scene. But now I remember. There was blood on Ibuki's
I'm so
slippers.
sick of him.
So if she faked her death and walked around the music venue tampering with the crime scene, there'd be bloody footprints left in various places throughout the venue. So that's why I think there's no way she faked her death. There's no way Ibuki committed suicide.
I hate his face right now. That scares me.
You know, we already finished talking about that a while ago.
Really?
His dick.
That's annoying. I guess I should just awkwardly laugh about it then.
Okay. Oh my god.
Are you freaking kidding me? There's no limit to how useless you can be.
No, wait a minute. If Ibuki had blood on her feet, there'd be footprints all over the place if she kept walking around.
That's strange. That's very strange.
This is strange? What's strange?
I see. It's not something we finished talking about. Those footprints. There's still an important clue left that we completely overlooked. Just as Nagito said, if she had blood on her feet, she would have left footprints. Then why weren't there any footprints on the stepladder?
I can prove it with this. If Ibuki used the stepladder to hang herself, it's strange that there weren't any footprints on it.
Huh? There weren't?
Yeah, that stepladder was completely clean. No footprints or bloodstains at all.
Did you notice such a small detail? How amazing! This is truly the talent of a chosen ultimate.
We just don't know what kind yet. What are you talking about? You were obviously leading us to this, and that's why you brought up the suicide topic after all this time. Nagito Kamade, whatever. You're definitely someone I shouldn't underestimate.
But didn't she say
She really did find... Unless there was something funny about that video.
I see. So there was some kind of trick arranged in that video, hmm?
But that's something only Hajime would know, since he's the only one who saw that video.
So just as I thought, it comes down to that. The mystery surrounding this incident is contained in that video. And whether or not we can reach the hidden truth is all up to me.
Hajime, I leave it in your
Damn.
hands. As long as I leave this to you, I won't tell you to do your best, but oh well. You should get started already.
This disloyal.
Yeah, I'll definitely try.
If there was some hidden clue in that video, I should have seen something strange as I watched it. I'm the only one who can clear that up. I'm the only one who actually saw that video. So I'm the only one who can do it. The hanging video that I saw, based on everything we know from the debates thus far, I should be able to figure out what's strange. Oh yeah, like we were talking about, there was no blood stain.
That's right, I remember now. There was definitely something strange about that video.
Can you explain it to us?
What's strange is that stepladder I mentioned earlier. It's true that the steps of that stepladder weren't dirty, but on one side, there was a bloodstain, right on the left side of the stepladder. However, that contradicts the video I saw at the hospital. There weren't any bloodstains on the stepladder in the video. It was completely clean.
That is truly strange. If the
But
video showed the moment of Ibuki's death, then Hiyoko should have already been dead by that point.
Even so, the fact is the stepladder had blood on it at the actual crime scene. The stepladder in the video was completely bloodless.
There's no way the video was recorded in advance. If that's the case, the only thing I can think of is...
It's possible those two stepladders were completely different.
What?
Are you saying there were two stepladders?
But where would you find another stepladder? There was only one stepladder in the music venue.
Then one of the stepladders was somewhere other than the music venue. What do you mean?
You're suggesting that the stepladder in the video isn't the only thing that's different. Am I right? That's amazing, Chiaki. All that gaming has given you incredible deduction skills. Is it okay to say...
No, shut up.
What are you two talking about?
The stepladder isn't the only thing that's different. Chiaki said that the stepladder was at a different place, but if that's the case, the thing that's different between that video and the actual scene of the crime is that thing the place where the killer did something? What? What? Oh shit, I am totally lost on this one. Okay, I'm gonna guess. Bros. I died so many times. I'm so mad.
Besides the stepladder, the filming location must have been different too.
What do you mean?
I mean, the video I saw was not filmed at the music venue. It was filmed somewhere else.
But the hospital monitor's supposed to display footage captured by the music venue camera, you know?
Then, there's a possibility that the killer also tampered with the surveillance camera unit.
In order to show us that they filmed the video at the music video instead of somewhere else, what did the killer do to that surveillance camera unit? Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Here we go. Which part of the surveillance camera? I think they messed with both. Did I do it right? No, I didn't! The camera. Right? Is it right? Please be right. Yes! Oh, fuck. I didn't even see that. Trying to do this in suit is a pain in the ass. But also so cool. Oh my god, 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 I'm gonna fuck up so bad, oh my god, oh, shit, that was so cool at the time. Did the killer tamper with the camera at the music venue or the hospital? Music venue? Right? Right? Yes! Got it. Okay. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. I'm so not- oh, how did I fail that? Okay. What did the killer do with the surveillance camera from the music video? They increased the signal, they took it with... Oh shit! They took it with them. Because if Soda couldn't increase the signal anymore than he already had, there's no way. There we go. Okay. What part of the surveillance camera unit did the killer tamper with? The camera. Did the killer tamper with the camera at the hospital or music venue? Music venue. What did the killer do with the camera from the music venue's surveillance camera unit? They took it with them.
It's all coming together. That's it. The killer just brought the camera from the music venue. With it, they made me think it was a live feed from the venue, when it was actually from somewhere else.
Then only the monitor was left in the music venue?
Yes, at least when I first discovered Ibuki's body. But when Hiyoko's body appeared, the killer probably put the camera back to
Oh yeah, smashed them both.
That means you should have realized that from the start and made this easier.
Shut the hell up, dumb bitch.
He did discover the body. I doubt his attention was focused on the camera.
That's true, but in order to hide that the camera was missing, the killer did one more thing to the remaining
Smash! Jeez. Destroyed it, there it is. Smashed it. Boom.
The killer smashed the monitor to pieces, destroying it. As long as it was in pieces, you wouldn't be able to tell if the camera was actually there or not.
Yeah.
My attention was so focused on the body that even I couldn't have noticed something like that.
And the moment Hajime left the music venue, the killer put back the camera they took.
There we
They
go.
destroyed it and left that in pieces as well.
It's easy to say it was filmed somewhere else, but the surveillance camera's connection wasn't that strong.
Despite Kazuichi's desperate
Damn.
repair efforts, it seems it could not transmit from the hospital to the motel.
The fact that it was able to connect between the hospital and the music venue is amazing enough.
Which means even if it was filmed in another place, as long as it transmitted to the hospital, the range would be pretty limited. If that's the case, where was the video filmed to make it look like it was filmed at the music venue? The only possibility is that place inside that building. Are we doing another hangman? Motherfuck, I hate these. Oh, that took an embarrassing amount of time.
Possible that it was filmed at the hospital's conference room.
Huh? Conference room?
But the hospital and the music venue look completely different.
That's exactly why the killer did something to make those two places resemble each other.
The curtain and the candle, so then the light wouldn't be too bright. Make the conference room look. To make the conference room look like the music venue, the killer went ahead and did some work. I've got to make it clear what that work was.
There's no way the conference room and the music venue look the same.
And which place resembled the other? Did the conference room look like the music venue? Or did the music venue look like the conference room?
Or did they make some kind of set?
They might have tampered with the camera.
I still can't believe he mixed up the filming locations. Hajime, you're pretty stupid.
Oh my god. In order to make the hospital conference room resemble the music video, what did the killer do?
Or did the music venue look like the conference room?
That must be it.
I kept shooting the wrong
What
one.
the killer did was make the music venue, the crime scene, look like the conference room. They did that by using the black curtain hanging at the back of the stage.
From what I remember, there used to be a really flashy curtain, but after the incident,
How did I not notice that?
it somehow became a plain black curtain that didn't seem to be the right size.
That's right! It's so half-assed, just like Anime.
Oh yeah? Well, your face looks
Fair enough.
That curtain was hung so the music venue would look like a conference room? In actuality, even though the curtain in the conference room doesn't stand out, it is a black light-blocking curtain that's long enough to reach the floor.
I see. The conference room. Indeed, the floor of that room is the same color as the music venue stage. So the killer chose the conference room because they realized the floor matched.
Matching floors, matching curtains. I guess it makes sense you just...
Yeah, suck it.
But that's not all. There should be something else the killer did to tamper with the evidence.
Stop with this properly. Something else the killer did to make the menu. Oh, I hate when they do that. Like I said earlier, they were using the candle so they could hide it.
You're referring to the candle in the music video, right? In the video I saw, a candle was used for lighting. But if you think about it, it's pretty strange. The music venue has good lighting, so there's no reason to even use candlelight.
But wouldn't they have done it to make it feel creepier?
That might have been another reason, but the main reason was probably to tamper with evidence. The lighting in the conference room and the music venue are so different. They couldn't be used during filming. That's why the killer used a candle as film lighting instead.
Which means, are you saying the candle in the music venue wasn't actually used?
That candle was likely placed there just to make me think it was the same candle that was used in the video.
With candlelight, you can't see things in that much detail. Maybe they were going for that effect. With that cheap-ass camera, you won't capture much in a dark area.
As long as this all matches up, it should be no problem to say this is decided. The video I saw wasn't filmed at the music venue. It was actually filmed at the hospital conference room.
Is it?
If I'd found proof that evidence in the conference room was altered, we would have reached an answer sooner. But it appears the killer already covered that up, so I didn't find anything when I went there.
Explains.
But there's no mistake. That's the only place within the connection range of the surveillance camera.
The motel would have been too far, and the interior design of the movie theater is too distinctive.
But this must be a surprising turn of events for Hajime. You never suspected that the video you saw in the hospital was being filmed in the conference room.
Literally right upstairs.
The incident isn't happening at the scene of a crime, it's occurring in the conference room.
I feel like I've heard Bayside cops that say that before, but isn't that the other way around?
If Ibuki's hanging video was filmed at the hospital's conference room, then was Ibuki killed at the
I
conference
don't
room
think
too?
so.
No, that's not possible. Right after Hajime saw that
Yeah.
video, he discovered Ibuki's body at the music venue.
That video was filmed at the conference room, but Ibuki's body was at the music venue. Which means there was a fake somewhere. That fake must have been the Ibuki in the conference room.
I see. The person wearing the hint bag in that video wasn't Ibuki.
Yep. That's why we didn't see her hair.
It was the killer pretending to be Ibuki. The killer put on a hospital gown, wore a hint bag on their head, and was only pretending to be the victim.
By that time, the real Ibuki must have already been killed.
The actual time of death must have been earlier. Probably around midnight or dawn to avoid witnesses.
If they took Ibuki from the music venue to the hospital to kill her, there's no way it happened during the day.
So that's what happened. Then no matter how quickly I ran, it was impossible for me to rescue Ibuki. Okay, so then me shitting on you for not checking her. Okay, I'll retract that. At that moment, I was already in the killer's trap. And the one who set that trap for me was...
But why did the killer go to the trouble of making a fake video just so Hajime could go to the crime scene?
The reason the killer made a fake video. There's only one possibility I can think of. If I examine that possibility thoroughly, then naturally the killer's identity will
They
reveal
wanted
itself.
to... Wait.
You feed! Are you saying you already know who the killer is?
That's right, I should already know. I should have already known who the killer is. Oh shit, we gotta select him now. Well, the only person who was still alive, well, not sick, in the hospital with us at that time
You're the only one! You're the killer, aren't you?
What are you talking about?
Like I said, aren't you the killer who murdered Ibuki and Hiyoko?
Killer? Huh? I'm the killer? What is this?
Hey, don't you think that's kinda impossible? A chick like her as the killer? She couldn't even kill a fly. In fact, the fly would probably kill her first.
She's right! A clumsy slowpoke like me killing someone? That's completely out of the
unless she had the despair disease and it makes her switch.
But we're the only ones. Thanks to that video, we're the only ones who have the advantage of an alibi.
An alibi? Was that the killer's
Yes.
goal?
Now that you mention it, you guys brought that up earlier. Only Hajime and Nikon have an alibi.
It's just a coincidence.
Yep, there it is. I'm saying coincidence again.
But you're the only one who could have filmed that video in the hospital conference room. Is that also a coincidence?
Yep. Shouldn't you get some rest already? You should be exhausted from nursing without any sleep, right? Then if you insist, I will go to the hiyoko room upstairs. You must be mentally exhausted, so it's better if you relax in the lobby. She was making sure we were in the lobby. to see the transmission.
At that time, you said you were going to the on-call room, but you actually went to the conference room. That's when you put on a hospital gown that you prepared in advance, put the bag on your head, and began filming. By doing that, you made up a video that showed Ibuki trying to hang herself at the music video. And showed that to me. Furthermore, I saw that video at the hospital lobby. If someone wants to go to the conference room from outside, they have to pass through the lobby.
So it's impossible that someone who wasn't already in the hospital went to the conference room to film.
Not only that, the others in the hospital, Kane and I, were both delirious from the despair disease.
So that must mean...
Please, wait a second. What are you saying? I'm the killer? That's impossible. There's no way I can kill someone.
It's not literally impossible. Can't you give a better defense than that?
Just shows she can't even do that.
Hey, you sure this chick is really the killer?
Wrong! It's totally wrong! It's not what you think!
Just like Akane said, it is really hard to tie it all together. I mean, Nikon is the killer?
I agree. It is truly difficult to believe someone could be killed by such a slow-witted woman.
Damn.
That slow-witted remark is not necessary.
It's fine. I've been like this for a long
Aww.
time. In a tournament for social punching bags, I'd easily win first place with my self-reputation. Even I can't deny that. How many times do I have to tell you? It's impossible for me to kill someone. I'm serious. Very serious.
What do you say, Hajime?
Do you still believe this woman is the killer?
Do you hate me that much, Hajime?
Your tears do nothing to me.
Hey,
Oh. But apparently it's doing a lot to them. Everyone's ganging up on me. Tricks aside, logic aside, is she really capable of doing something like this? Could it be I'm the one making a mistake? No, in fact, it'd be so much easier if I was wrong. If I have this much doubt in someone I've spent so much time with. Oh my god, his face scared me. Huh?
Well, I know I'm being intrusive and all, and I mean, I have no place to say this. I missed all of the critical parts, and I doubt I have anything worth saying at an important time like this.
What are you saying?
But still, there's definitely no way I can overlook the killer this time.
Huh?
I thought it was suspicious all along, from the very beginning. Investigating with the suspect in mind creates a different result than investigating with no leads.
Hey, what are you trying to say?
Well, thanks to that, I was able to discover a truth that nobody else knows.
Are you serious?
I've been so focused on everybody else in this trial, but I guess now's a good time to say it, right?
You better not have kept quiet on purpose. This isn't a game, you know.
Actually, this is
If
a
you don't
game.
shut with that meta shit.
Please don't say such controversial statements.
Well, what do you know, Nagito?
Well, it's nothing big, really. Only a small, decisive clue that points to the killer.
No, yeah, nothing big.
Dang, that's a huge deal.
A decisive clue. Does something like that really exist?
Let's take a look, shall we? Regarding the rope Ibuki was dangling from. This rope was supplied by the supermarket, right? There weren't any ropes inside the music box.
Again with the supermarket? That place is a hot spot.
I'm saying though.
If they got it at the supermarket, that means it was brand new, right?
What's wrong with that?
I want you to take a close look at this rope. And keep in mind that it's brand new. Near the middle of the rope, it's frayed, as if it was rubbed strongly. But why is it like this? The loop Ibuki used to hang herself is on one end of the rope, and the part of the rope that hung from the baton lighting is on the other end.
Hey, you're taking too long. What's wrong with the rope being frayed?
It means, well, from what I can infer, I think the rope was used like this. The killer wrapped the rope around Ibuki's neck.
Oh my
Both
god.
ends at full strength and strangled her.
Oh my god.
The center of the rope is frayed because that's the part they used to strangle Ibuki.
I've been listening to you for a while, and it sounds like you knew about this rope clue all along. What exactly did you say to me during the investigation?
So this rope won't be much of a clue. Then I might as well search another place. This motherfucker.
Not everyone cooperates at a class trial. Those who lie and conceal the truth will obviously be here too. Just like this case's killer. I was just copying them a little bit.
More importantly, what was all that about the rope? The killer strangled Ibuki. And then?
And then, I
This-
finished speaking.
How is that a decisive clue?
Huh? You didn't notice it? I thought I made the decisive clue very clear.
Nadia's words contain a device clue. Is it that really true? Crap.
Ibuki didn't die from hanging. She was strangled to death.
That's basically the same thing.
Though hanging and strangling seem similar, they're very different. The scars they leave would look different too.
Scars? You mean the rope burn, right?
But we believed it was from a hanging. Why would that be?
Because she was the one who's...
Did we fall for someone's lie?
The body at the crime scene was hanged, you know. Obviously, we'd assume it was
No,
a
it's
hanging.
because of her autopsy.
The Monokuma file complicates this too. It never specified hanging or strangulation.
Whoever misunderstood is to blame.
You! Ibuki's true cause of death was strangulation. Okay.
Ibuki didn't die from hanging. She was strangled to death.
That's basically the same thing.
Though hanging and strangling seem similar, they're very different. The scars they leave would look different too.
Scars? You mean the rope burn, right?
But we believed it was from a hanging. Why would that be?
Did we fall for someone's lie? That must be it.
So that's what happened. We've been falling for the killer's lie this whole time.
There's something I want to ask you. There's no doubt Ibuki's cause of death was being hanged by this rope, right? Yeah, she has no other external injuries, so there's no doubt that she died from hanging herself. I see. So Ibuki died by hanging herself.
You said Ibuki hanged herself, but that was a complete lie, wasn't it, Mikon?
That is... well...
You told us the wrong cause of death. You lied, didn't you?
Yep.
Should have been able to tell the difference between hanging and strangling just by looking. You, Mikon, the ultimate nurse.
Please wait! First of all, I'm not a coroner.
right. And you have
Shush,
been a great
Sonia.
help to us so far.
But even a drunk medical student can notice the difference between a hanging and
Dang.
strangulation.
I'm not taking her side or anything, but being clumsy and unskilled in this area could lead to a mistake.
He's totally right. I'm such a clumsy mess, and I got so careless.
Nikon nursed me till I got better. There's no way I'm gonna doubt her.
Don't you think her devotion to nursing is what helped her draw Ibuki to her death?
Huh?
And if not, her symptoms were still very serious and caused her to believe what anybody told her. It wouldn't surprise me if she willingly followed Nikon because she was nursing her.
Man.
So Nikon volunteered to nurse us? Because she was planning to do this all along?
That's a little... Aren't you like the thief who suspects everyone else of
Ha.
being thieves?
I'm not a criminal. Nikon is. I mean, she's a killer, you know.
You got it all wrong. Please forgive me.
I'm sorry, but there's no way I can
Damn.
forgive you. I just can't forgive this crime at all.
Forgiveness or not, we still have not decided if Nikon
I
is
have.
the killer.
I see. You guys are kind. Well, if that's the choice everyone makes, the only thing I can do is back off, I guess. But is that really okay?
Nope.
Is that everyone?
Not everyone.
You're friggin' annoying! If you keep talking, I'm seriously gonna
Do
beat
it
you
anyway,
up.
but after the trial.
I'm really not the killer. There's no way I'm capable of killing someone.
Is that really true?
Ooh.
Stop it already! That's enough!
I can't stop. I don't want to do this either. Of course I don't want to do this. But I need to do this.
You doubt your friends?
That's not it. I suspect them because I want to believe them.
What the hell does that mean?
I don't think belief and doubt are necessarily opposites.
Huh?
I do doubt her, but I still want to believe her. Belief lies at the heart of that conflict. 'Cause if there's no room for doubt, then there's no reason to believe, is there?
Damn.
Don't say deep stuff. I don't really
You're an idiot.
get it.
If you want to believe in someone, you need to overcome doubt first. Belief without doubt is simply a lie.
Fine. Do whatever you want. I won't stop
Damn.
you anymore.
Huh? Is that all you can say?
Oh my god. Oh my god, the chill that just ran through my spine.
Ah, so in the end, you're all just a bunch of bullies, huh? Justifying your actions with fancy words. Making excuses for why it's not really
I'm
your
so
fault.
uncomfortable.
Everyone always treats me like that. Always. It's all her fault. She's the one with the problem. I'm done with that. You hear me? I'm done.
Hey, Nikon.
It's not fair. It's not fair. 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 Not fair.
I'm gonna just...
Why won't you forgive me? You forgive yourself right away. What did I do? Why won't anybody forgive me?
Is acting like this your strategy now? This... us. To be honest, we've run out of ideas. How can we get you to
Get down.
That's the issue.
If we don't have any clues, why don't we have her give us some?
Huh?
I'm the same as Hajime. I don't want to doubt any of my friends. But still, the truth is one of us murdered two of our friends. That's why we gotta stick with
My
her
girl.
to the very end, so we can finally break these chains of despair.
Chiaki.
Hey Mikan, can I ask you one last thing? If you're not the killer, then who fabricated that video Hajime watched?
Like I said, it obviously wasn't me.
Can you prove it?
Prove it? Wait. Do you have any proof that I'm the one who fabricated that video? That's right. Show me your proof.
It's so uncomfortable the way that I go from aw to him.
You're just assuming the video was filmed at the conference room. Treating me like a killer based on an assumption. Just because I was at the hospital. You're totally crazy. I didn't do anything wrong. Why does everybody always hate me? Please, just forgive me already.
Yeah.
Is this broad really okay? She's emotionally unstable.
Not just emotionally, motherfuckers.
I'm not the killer. The video. I never filmed that video.
The hint bag! The hint bag! We need to prove that she, because there's only one, we need to prove that she somehow is the one who got it. How can we prove that? Ah, I'm so close, y'all. I know it. It's something to do with that bag.
It seems she finally started arguing for us.
Huh?
But the only one who can find the hole in her argument is
Why
you,
me?
Hajime.
Why can't one you NPC motherfucker do something?
So, I'm going to leave this to
Oh,
you
how
once again.
flattering. Could it be this was Chiaki's goal all along? She's saying everyone's fate depends on me, the only person who saw that video.
Why do you get to decide I'm the killer? Where's your proof? Please, forgive me already!
I need to make up my mind. I'm the one who has to do it. I'm the one who's going to finish this. Let's go, baby.
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else other than you who could have filmed that video.
Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof?
Oh,
Is the
God.
hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have different body types.
Not with the,
Proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital
No, you
gown?
can't. That's why she wore it.
Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight? There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type! So please forgive me already!
Hajime, pay close attention and listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
I'll keep explaining it until you forgive me! That bag is a limited item! That's why that crime is impossible for anyone to pull off.
This chick, has she lost it for good?
Will you forgive me? You'll forgive me, right? Isn't that right? You're obviously gonna forgive me, right?
At this rate, we're not getting anywhere. I gotta do something and end this. I gotta do something so I can make her admit it.
forgive me already? I'll do anything you want. You're done for! Forgive me! Forgive me! Why only me? You still haven't forgiven me? There's only one bag. It's impossible to use it in two places at the same time.
This is the end!
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Monokuma mentioned this earlier.
Okay. Alright, we're back. Oh my god. I'm embarrassed. When you buy one bag, you get another free. It's a common practice to pick other customers with bonus prizes.
Whoever bought that bag should have received another one as a bonus prize. Which means it's not impossible to use that bag in two separate places. So please, just stop making desperate excuses.
Why? Why can't you forgive me?
I can forgive you if you admit it.
It seems her desperate struggle is finally coming to an end.
Why does everybody always hate me? You should just forgive me already!
Miko, it's already over. After I go over your crime from the beginning and show that you have no arguments left, please just admit it already. In the end, at least let me believe in you.
Oh, closing argument time. Be right back. And we're back. And let's do this.
Here's everything that happened in this case. The key to this incident is the surveillance camera video that only I saw. That's why I'm going to start with that to unravel the knots of this crime. When I went to the hospital with Nikon this morning, I noticed a specific thing in the lobby. The incoming signal light on the surveillance monitor was blinking ahead of the scheduled time.
Oh.
When I switched on the monitor, what appeared on screen was a person wearing a hospital gown and a bag on their head about to hang themselves right at that moment. That surveillance camera unit was designed for two-way communication with the hospital and the music video. That's why I thought the signal originated from the music video, so I immediately headed over there. That was the killer's trap. In truth, that video was recorded in a different place. The killer brought the music venue camera the night before and made their preparations in advance. Then, they filmed that video in the hospital conference room. By doing so, they tried to make me think the incident was happening in real time, when in fact, the crime had already been committed by that point. The person in the footage wearing the bag was actually the killer acting as a fake. I didn't know that, so I went to the music video and found the hanged body wearing a bag on its head. Seeing the body before me, I panicked and rushed out of there to get the rest of you guys. But that was also part of the killer's trap. After cleaning the conference room, the killer was likely watching the music venue from outside. And, as if they were switching places with me, they went inside the music venue and began working on their last trick. First, the killer peeled off the wallpaper covering one of the stage pillars, revealing Hiyoko's body. When I first arrived and saw the hanged body, I didn't notice anything strange about that pillar. I didn't expect it to be slightly larger from the wallpaper, or have Hiyoko's body hidden inside. Next, the killer destroyed the surveillance camera that was used in the conference room. After destroying it, they mixed it with what was left of the surveillance monitor found at the crime scene. The surveillance camera the killer used was originally brought from the music video, but when they brought it, they made sure to destroy its monitor beforehand. They wanted to hide the fact that the camera wasn't at the crime scene. In the end, the killer transformed the crime scene into a closed room. They broke one of the drumsticks from the storage room and placed it near the music venue's entrance. However, they did this to mislead us into believing that the music venue was locked from the inside. In actuality, the reason the music venue became a closed room was because of the glue. The killer sealed the door with glue and intentionally created a closed room that could be forced open. With that, the killer finished tampering with the crime scene and met up with Fuyuhiko. They helped us force open the music venue door, despite the fact that they personally sealed it. They made us discover not just Ibuki's body, but Hiyoko's suddenly present body as well. At the time, they pretended to be surprised, but inside, they were probably relieved that their plan worked out. Isn't that right, Mikan? This crime was orchestrated by you, wasn't it?
Crazy bitch. Don't make me start laughing, because then we're all gonna go insane.
Whoa! Now she's laughing?
It's been such a long time. This feeling, I know it well. Like the floor is collapsing, like the sky is falling down upon you. This feeling of despair.
Oh my god.
Mikan, what has happened to you?
Whoa there! Before that, a moment of your
Oh,
time.
no. Okay. I sucked at this trial. I suck so bad. Yep. I thought I would get a C. I sucked.
It seems your arguments have reached a conclusion, so let's proceed to our regularly scheduled voting time. Now then, please pull the lever in front of you and cast your vote. Who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? Let's go!
Now then, though it may be obvious at this point, you got it right once again. That's like 3 in a row. That's right. The true identity of the horrifying blackened who killed 2 girls was Mikan Sumi.
Damn
You gotta be shitting me. Are you saying like Mikan was the one who nursed us back to health? Was like the one who killed them? Don't joke around with me, Mikan. Did you lie to us all along? Were you planning to kill them from the start while you were nursing them? Don't just laugh, say something! It's going nowhere! Just kill her already, because this is freaking me out. This chick! This is nothing like Pego, she's actually gone mental. There's nothing we can do. She's no longer the same person. She's no longer the Mikan Sumiki we knew. Huh? Based on my predictions, she might have caught it too. Yep, knew it. She probably had the despair disease, which was the motive for this case. Mikan too, you say? Mikan too, you say? I know, because I was looking at Mikan for so long. She was the one taking care of me after all. My consciousness kept drifting, but even so, when I did catch glimpses of her, her expression was full of despair, a despair so devoid of hope that not even a single fragment of it remained. Hold on, didn't you say Mikan also had the despair disease? Then that means she was... Huh?
What?
Hajime, has something crossed your mind? I knew it. That's why she was... My body's heavy. No, not just heavy. It's somewhat soft and really hot. That's right. Mikan felt really hot at that time. Now when I think about it, that must have been a high fever, just like what Ibuki and Akane had.
It cannot
And then,
be.
because of that disease, Mikan was... The symptoms that she surely felt must have been deserving of the name despair disease. Losing all hope and harboring despair for all hope. Because of the despair disease, she was likely overcome with despair. That's the reason why she could still laugh in such a hopeless situation. Oh lord. Which means the Mikan standing before us is no longer the ultimate nurse. She's a completely different person now that she's infected by the despair disease. She's a human that deserves to be called the ultimate despair. There's only one person with that name. And ooh. Ultimate despair. It's having a lot of striking similarities, I will admit. That's the reason why I cannot forgive this. I mean, killing someone for the sake of despair instead of the sake of hope. There's no way I can forgive that.
Oh?
For the sake of despair.
That's completely wrong.
Wrong. Wrong. What's wrong?
What I did was for the sake of my beloved.
What? What?
Huh?
Who you're talking about? If only they were still alive, I'd be so happy. What? What? I know. What?
My beloved was the only one. That's right. The only one who never hated
What?
me. They forgave my existence. They forgave me and accepted me. They gave me value. They loved me. I loved them with all my heart, and they returned it in full. This is my reciprocation.
What?
I
understand how it's just something unforgivable. But you know, to just transcend all that truly.
It's love.
What love is about. What love is all about. I don't understand what you're saying. You don't understand? Is it because you don't have anyone to love? Damn. Is it because you're also someone who isn't accepted by anyone? What a pity, I feel sorry for you. Whoa.
Well,
Even if I say this, I'm sure nobody here would understand, but love is a wonderful thing. Now this feeling of freedom, where you no longer care about anything. My beloved and I are the only ones with that thin veil. I'm just looking out through it. That's why, as long as I'm on the inside, no matter how much they tease me, splash with me water, kick me, it's like nothing matters, I could just die. That's how little it matters. Who cares about hope or despair? It's love. Only love.
could it be?
Nagito, is this really the despair disease you were talking about? It seems I was wrong. Not only was she affected... It seems I was wrong. Not only was she affected by despair. You are half right. It's hard to say this was all thanks to disease. Because thanks to disease, I was able to remember my beloved. Remember? Apparently that's what the system was. 100%
phantom. Which means you had the remembering disease.
But this means you remembered something that ended up like this. Are you saying you were like this from the start? You were like this before you even came to this island?
Don't get so angry. Well, first of all, the reason I became like this wasn't my fault. It was all your fault, you know? Because it's not like I'm entirely responsible for turning out like this. I'm the person I am today because of many human relationships. So it's everyone's fault that I turned out like this, you see?
See? This is why you don't bully people, okay? You either turn out with a furry asshole or a psycho bitch. Neither are good.
Even so, the current me is most strongly influenced by my love's existence. And so also my beloved, who created me, and everyone can forgive. But my beloved still forgives me and accepts me. That is the key difference between all of you and my beloved.
Like I said, who the fuck are you talking about? No, stop it, don't. Are you saying this is Nikon? She's the real Nikon? Nikon, please answer me. Do you really remember? You ended up like this? All because you remembered? There's no way I can believe it. There's no way that the person you are right now is the real Nikon.
Oh, you still doubt me? And to prove I remember, I'll tell you all something nice. It's about that World Ender organization you were all worrying about.
You know?
I know. I just remembered, that's all. I know about it all along. I wonder how horrifying the organization known as World Ender is also the organization known as the Future Foundation.
The Future Foundation? Future? That's right, that's the symbol in the ancient ruins door. That's right. It was the Japanese word for future. Just what is the Future Foundation? What are they planning?
As the name suggests, that organization is the World Ender. The Future Foundation is trying to end our world. To put it simply, they're trying to claim the world for themselves.
What the heck? This ain't a comic book, you know?
As part of their plan to end the world, the Future Foundation brought us to this island. Isn't that right, Monomi? Huh?
I knew it! Monomi and Monokuma, they're both members of that crazy organization, aren't they?
Monomi and I aren't members.
I am Monokuma!
My existence is entirely my own!
I don't like how she copied that. Don't laugh. Hey Mikon, if you really do remember, then you already know, right? You know the true identity of the traitor hiding among us.
Of course I know that. But see, the Future Foundation Blackie are talking about all you is. Oh well. No one really cares about that, don't you think?
Oh hell no!
You'll find out eventually, so there's no need to be so impatient. Probably. That's when the countdown ends.
Countdown? You even know about that?
I don't know anything.
Huh?
I have a feeling that's what it is. But who cares about that, you know? I'm trying to get so much love from the bottom of my heart. I just don't care about anyone or anything.
That is...
Nikon, is this really you? I won't believe it. There's no way I can believe it. You were like this all along. Because if that's true, who's the person we've been spending time with up until now? The past. Past. The person. She didn't exist in the beginning. She's just my past self. The lost her school memories. You guys consider that a friend? That doesn't make me happy at all. It just fills me with more despair. You guys accepted my past self, but not my present self. Well, that applies to you as well. Memories of people, memories of events. Whatever memory it is, losing memories are.
Do you understand?
Like losing your personal identity. Man, this is fucking with me. Because I lost my memory. Dude, this is fucking with me. This whole chapter's been fucking with me. Memory is the most important component in building a person, don't you think? Losing our memories makes us shadows of the past, don't you think?
I don't know what you're trying to say, but in the end, it always leads back to that story. That story about our stolen school lives.
So it's true all along? Our memories were taken away? If it wasn't true, we wouldn't be suffering this much. Well, why don't you just take your sweet time and remember at your own pace? Oh, Monokuma, is it alright for you to start now? Punishment time? Damn it, why? Mikan, why does it have to end like this? This is too pointless. This is too much.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
For the ultimate nurse, Mikan Tsubiki.
So it's over. It's really... Now I can go to my beloved, who always
I
forgives
don't like this.
me. I can finally see them. Please forgive me, the one who's going to die with the hope of finally seeing you.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
Well, I wish you two the best of luck in hell. Oh, this is gonna be madness, isn't it? Oh no. Oh lord. Oh. Bye bye ouchies. What? What the? What the? But. So then they just shoot this bitch up into space. Okay. Okay. It's finished. Is it really finished? The killer who killed Ibuki and Hiyoko was Mikan? And she's been executed? That was the most anticlimactic. She apparently committed her crime because she was afflicted by the despair disease. So what? What's finished? Nobody wanted it to end this way.
Let me ask.
Who was that Mikan from earlier? Was that her true form, or is that itself a symptom of the despair disease? It doesn't matter either way. If she ended up like that just from remembering, then all along Mikan was never worth being a symbol of hope. Even if her words were influenced by despair disease, the disease turned her into that. If she lost herself to a simple disease, she was definitely unworthy of being a symbol of hope. So let's just move on.
Damn.
Come on, let's all take this despair and change it into hope.
That is impossible! I mean, I thought we were friends this whole time, but even so... Like a house of cards collapsing in an instant. In the end, our friend... we thought we knew. In the end, our friend we thought we knew ended up showing us a completely different side of herself. Then she vanished from our sight, leaving behind only her malice towards us. And now there's no way we can just move on or try to have a clear-cut attitude about these feelings. That's clearly impossible.
Damn it!
It would have been so much easier if she was the traitor too. Too bad that's not the case. Nikon was not the traitor. The traitor is still alive, as proof. See how fine Monomi looks right now. Oh lord. I'm not fine at all. But if the traitor died, you wouldn't be this calm, right? I mean, you're both pawns of the future foundation, so you guys are like two hearts beating as one, right?
What does that make you feel? You did say that you're different than Monomi.
Who cares who I am? More important, I'm tired. The drama just keeps going and going. I didn't have time to eat my black bean right eye during the break. What? Your right eye is made out of black beans? Wait, now's not the time to focus on that. What are you trying to say? Isn't it said that life has its ups and downs? It's fun because the downs come after ups, but life is full of downs when it get boring. In order to help you guys feel better, I've prepared a special event. Special event? Head over to the island's first breach. An old friend will be waiting there. Old friend? Could it be Nekomaru? Isn't it? Nekomaru will be safe after all? Safe, how should I say this? I knew it, that crazy bastard Nekomaru would come back to us in one piece.
Awesome, we're starting to see the light of hope.
The light of hope. I am happy Nekomaru is returning to us, but three of our friends just died, so I honestly cannot be happy. Miss Sonia! However, even so, I am still happy. If Nekomaru is safe, I am truly happy.
If you are happy, you should honestly greet him with open arms. Perhaps those who have been taken from us would do the same if they had still lived.
Hey, Supreme Overlord of who gives a shit. That line doesn't suit you at all.
Silence, I shall crush you into dust.
Ibuki, Hiyoko, Nikon, can you hear us? If you aren't happy, I apologize. However, please forgive me right now. I want to warmly welcome Nekomaru when he returns to us. You don't have to worry, Sonia. I'm sure your feelings are reaching them.
Right?
Then let's go, great Nekomaru. Let's make it grand, even for those who have died. Aww. Oh, what the heck? Do you still have the after effects of that disease? I don't get this at all. Akane. Alrighty then, let's go! Yeah, you're right. Nekomaru's coming back. When we heard that, we were unable to contain our excitement as we jumped into the elevator. Man, they ran off to listening to what I had to say! Jeez, they're so impatient! Didn't they learn to stick around until others have finished talking? What does that mean? You're flooding something, aren't you? not plotting anything. I was just trying to properly explain everything to them. Including Nekomaru's body. Huh? Nekomaru's body? It's their fault for not sticking around until I finish talking. So if something happens because of that, I bear no responsibility. What did you do to Nekomaru? What did I do? I just saved him. That's all. I mean, if I didn't do that, there was no way I could have saved someone who was that close to death. So, it just couldn't be helped. Oh Lord. As soon as we exited the elevator, we started running. Hurry to the beach on the first island. Alright, let's haul ass. Even though our minds were completely exhausted, strangely enough our bodies felt light. Without stopping for anything, we kept running towards the beach on the first island. Let's see it. Where the world is in Nekomaru. Hey, Nekomaru, show yourself! We have come to pick you up. Please hurry and come out of hiding. We raised our voices. We looked around the area. We raised our voices again. We looked around the area again. So on and so forth, looking for him. But what the hell, man? He's nowhere to be found. Could it be we got false info from Monokuma again? And that's when it happened. We heard a familiar voice echo through the beach.
What happened? Were y'all looking for me?
That voice! With high hopes in our heart, we turned towards the direction of the voice. And then we saw something truly unbelievable. What?
Huh? What the?
Yo! I've kept you waiting.
Okay, what the hell?
Hey, what's going on? Perhaps you don't remember my face since we haven't seen each other in a while. That's pretty sad, you know? That's too much!
Oh Lord. I'm not scared.
Who are you?
Huh? You too? What's going on? If you're messing with me, I'll stop doing it.
Oh my Lord.
Nekomaru? Haven't you noticed it yourself?
What do you mean, noticed? Oh, you mean this body? This is nothing!
What?
The name's Nekomaru Nidai! I've been reborn in the rivers of hell!
Is this motherfucker a robot? Yo. I don't think my heart can handle much more of this game. I am for real. 9 days left. What the hell? Jeez. 9 of us left. Oh God. Danganronpa. Alright, since I'm about to have an aneurysm. Oh my God. So let us all digest what the fuck just happened. Okay. So, I was right. Mikan got the disease. I was wrong. Soda did not kill him. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. Okay. So I thought Mikan was going to, like, something she remembered is turned her into this. Whatever that was. That crazy despair, that ultimate despair. Something that happened to her. That happened to us. All of us. It's obviously going to affect all of us. But do we all turn that crazy? Is that how we are? Like, for real? Crazy? Is that what they mean? Or was it just her that's crazy in the future? And if it's just her that's crazy in the future, then who is this beloved? Does that even matter, or was that just a throwaway? Also, I will say that was a disappointment of an execution. Not gonna lie. But you shot her in the face. They already did that one dude like that. They shot her in his face, but it was more fun. But we did get to see Monokuma's butt. Fell face down, ass up. So, now Nekomaru is back, but he's a robot. Which, oh my god, it could be that I haven't slept in over 24 hours. Yep, it is now 6 a.m. on the day I'm supposed to post this. I'm still recording, so this is gonna suck. But I want to have a video out for y'all this week. If not today, it'll be on Friday. Oh my god. This is gonna be a whole new shit show next week, too. Alright. If you like what you see, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe so you can see my content in the future. Also, if you have any game suggestions or you just want to say hi, leave it down in the comment section below. I'm Dayzee Hyena. I'll catch you.